Wee, it's Jon Savage. Welcome to the podcast. Let's go. No mess, no fuss. Okay, questions that I got now are about gear. Now, gear. How long is a piece of string? Ask a studio engineer, what gear do you need for a studio? It is about your resources, but I'll give you two kind of options. I'll give you the absolutely bottom of the barrel option, and then I'll give you a slightly pro option. But you don't have to go out of the box on this. So there's obviously two parts of the podcast when talking to gear. That is video and audio. The video one is way more complicated. So let's start with audio. Now, for audio, obviously you need something to record with. That's a microphone. Now, if you're on the bottom end of this, let me tell you something about podcasts. An iPhone or even a smartphone have amazing built-in microphones. These things are incredible, and you can use that for a podcast. One of the most important things about a podcast is the audio. Something about human psychology that is important to know is that if you put up a video and the video isn't good quality video, it might turn some people on. But if the audio is strong, you will keep people. So people will happily watch a video with great audio. However, the reverse is not true. If the video is amazing but the audio is sketchy, people will tune out so quickly. So having world-class audio is the core of any podcast, and that's why I said even an iPhone will do that. You want to go up, you don't have to have, this is the SM7B, this is the top microphone in the world. It's a Shure, it's blinking expensive, it's like 9,500 Rand, actually 11,000 Rand for one of these. Don't get one of these, this is overkill. Rode has an amazing set, RODE, of amazing podcaster mics from their pod mic is really, really amazing. But you also need the arm and stuff. It's a proper pro mic so you can look pro. And then they also have this very, very affordable thing, the NTS USB Mini. It's very sexy. Let me quickly show it to you because it's one of the most affordable things on the line and super powerful. It's the Mini. It's a smaller version of a bigger microphone. From the affordable range, it's very sexy and very cool. It has a magnetic bass, which means the bass comes off, which is really cool. It's got a headphones jack in there. It looks really cool so that when you're speaking on it on camera, it looks really awesome as well. Good quality, and that's the NT USB Mini. I'll put some links in the description if you want to go and find those things. So that's the main source, is a mic. You can also use a lapel mic, which is invisible, which is one of those little, Shure does them, Rode does them. They clip onto here, but the only problem with the lapel mic is they've got to go into something. They need a little preamp, which we'll talk about now. So now you've got a recording, whether it's you and the other person. You can also use your laptop, so you could have a Zoom call with somebody else and be recording the audio on your laptop. So now you have the audio. The next thing is you need something to record. So if you're doing on your laptop, obviously your laptop can record it. If you're doing on your iPhone can record it. And if you're doing it on like the nice Rode mics, Rode have another amazing product called the Rodecaster Pro 2. It is phenomenal. It's got little mixing levels. You can put your iPhone in it. It's got Bluetooth in it. It's got little buttons so you can trigger effects and beds, music, and all sorts of cool stuff there. Check out the Rodecaster 2. I'll send you a link in the bottom here as well. So now you've got a recording and you've got something to record too. Then you have to do editing. And editing is really important because if you're new to podcasting, you might want to spend some time making sure that you don't yourself to death or yourself to death, or if you make an error, or that even your guest, let's say you have a guest, they got a problem. There's something they actually told you that in the interview that they've spoken to you later and said actually they don't want that into the interview. So you actually got to put something together that sounds good. You got to make sure it sounds good. If you do an amazing interview, now this is something for your headspace. If you do an amazing interview with an amazing guest and the audio isn't recorded well or clear and you get home there's a problem, don't put that out. Beg, get on your knees, go back to that person and say, I'm really sorry I made a mistake. Please, can we do it again? Audio is unforgivable. Make sure you get your audio 100% world class. That's why I invest in this microphone, even for Zoom calls. The power of audio, of resonating. This is why we love podcasts. It's because the sound of audio, it really speaks to us. It resonates with us. So you've got to make sure more than anything that the audio is clear. From a video perspective, there's a million cameras. There's Sony's. You can use your iPhone. If you've got a guest, you'd usually have 3 cameras, a wide and 2 close-ups, so that you can cut together that. That's a whole other palaver. Let's stick with the audio for now. I think video editing is a whole other world, and maybe I'll do a podcast about that if you're interested. Okay, so now you have a recording and you have a piece of audio. Now you might want to do top and tails or a little jingle at the beginning and make something sound really good. So if you have any musical ability, you can do that. Otherwise, what you could do is, if you have an Apple, they have something called Apple Loops. You can find free loops on the internet to kind of give you a little ding 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 ding. Hey, this is the Banana Pudding podcast. You want to make sure that stuff's good. If you want to do something a bit more pro, you can use Fiverr. That's fiverr.com. That's where a lot of freelance sort of jingle makers are, and for probably 500 Rand tops, you could create your own opening and closing jingle, and it'll sound totally pro. So now you've got a jingle you've edited together. When we were talking about editing, there's a lot of editing software. Some of it is free. Audacity, AUDIC, I'll put the link in there, is free. It's not so user-friendly, but it's free, and that's really important. If you have, if you want to go up to something like Logic, or there's lots of audio software for editing, but Audacity is really the basic. You don't want anything too fancy. You just want to be able to cut. And as far as I know, Audacity works across all the platforms. So let's stick with that as well. If you want to do something more pro, then Google Pro editing stuff. I think that's more valuable than my time right now. Okay, so now you've edited a piece. You've got your jingle. You've got a piece. What happens now? Now you need a distribution platform. So a distribution can be Anchor, which is Spotify's own one, Megaphone, which is a really good one, also owned by Spotify, Podbean, Buzzsprout. There are some really good, look up, if you go to Google, look up audio distribution platforms. Those are pretty much the 4 best ones. They're all equally good. They have a free service, and that's what you create to put into the podcast. Now you have your podcast distributed. Now you've done the recordings. Everything is really great. You've got them out on the networks. Now you want to promote them. Then you want to create trailers, so you can cut little snippets into 20 or 30 seconds, add some visuals to those using something like Canva, and then you've got trailers for your social media as well. What I would also suggest is you need a page. So Anchor and Podbean give you a page, like a website. You don't have to build your own website. They give you like a template-based page. Podbean's one you can't really alter too much, nor can you actually. Anchor's one, neither of them. So you get this free sort of website page where all your podcasts are listed, so you can drive people to that page if you want to as well. And that's also free. If you want a professional page because you're trying to do something a bit more pro, then get a professional page. All right, that was a very loose sort of jump through what you need to do a podcast. There's obviously a high-level version of this as well, but I'm trying to keep these things simple. I am doing paid 1-hour sessions. You can book me through either my bio or down below. If you want to actually get everything you need to start an up and running commercial podcast, I can help with that. Otherwise, everything else I'm doing, follow me on Instagram because I do reels for free all the time, or on TikTok or here, or whatever. Just subscribe wherever you are. Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, madness, my friend.